Okay, so this is section B, station B, where we're going to degrade on carbonate. So this is the carbonate. It actually has a green color. So you actually measure the mass. So we use a plastic beaker to hold on to the tube, and we're going to use this more precise balance, which is precise down to the milligram. Okay, and once you have written down the mass of the whole thing, or just the mass of the carbonate, depending on how you did the calculation, we're going to do the decomposition. So to do that, we have to light up the gas, one which actually has some gas in it, and we use the lighter and we double click. It takes a few trials. Okay, and then you're going to put the tube on the flame. Okay, and you sort of shake it. So that you sort of distribute the heat, and you can see that it is starting to turn black. Right, it is starting to turn black because it's decomposing. So I'm not going to do the whole thing. You need to actually do it a bit longer, but so here you see that there's still some green into it, right? So it's not done enough. Right? But once you've done it enough that it looks all black, you're going to actually put it in this metallic holder, because the tube is going to be very hot at this point. So you don't want to put it back into the plastic. You want to wait for it to cool, because if you weigh something hot, your actually measurements are not going to be correct. So you want to wait a little bit for it to cool down. Once it's cooled down, you also want to take a paper towel and get rid of the condensation that formed here. This is actually condensation which is due to the hot air. It's not coming from your compound, right? So you don't want this condensation to actually mess up your measurement, because this is not a hydrate. This is not actually did not come from your compound. It's just due to the hot air that you just created, and which is condensing on the glass. So again, here you can see the little drop. We want actually to capture that drop. It is not part of the decomposition because it's a carbonate. So the decomposition actually is CO2, which is coming out, and the CO2 does not come inside. Right? And so once this is cool, then you can actually put it back into the beaker, measure the mass, and you're going to find how much CO2 came out. If you have time, you may want to do it again, just checking that the mass is not changing, that you indeed degraded the whole CO2, all the CO2 has left. So if you have time, you may want to do it 2 or maybe 3 times. But the idea is that you measure the mass of CO2 which came out, which will give you the moles of CO2, that will give you the moles of the carbonate in there, and then from that you'll be able to calculate the molar mass, and you're going to be able to determine the nature of the carbonate. So this is for station B.